Well, Lids, it's finished. Ashton United 5, Whitby Town 0 this afternoon. A tough one out there.
Yeah, chalk and cheese from the last game at Bamber. We've just said the same thing in there. The inconsistencies that the team and probably all the club's shown really over the last years, recent years especially. The inconsistencies that are there. We can go from the highs of for example, at the Bamber, and then we can come here today and look like we haven't played with each other. It was like I said, it was a massive contrast in performances, in the way we played, and in the way we pressed, in the way we defended, in the way we attacked. But by a long way, the better team won today, Sorry, and hugely disappointing. The lads are obviously immensely disappointed in there, because we haven't really, other than I think Steve's had a chance early doors, but other than that, we haven't really laid a glove on them today. And I think we started playing, but we didn't start playing. We started playing when it was 5-0, and far too late by then. And the game was long gone. Obviously, we had a tough half time. We said quite a few things, and we wanted to come out. We knew the next goal was going to be vital, and the second half was very similar to the first half, and like I said, we didn't lay a glove on them in both halves today, and that's the most disappointing thing for me.
Yeah, and obviously yourself and Jason now being involved. I know you've been playing the last couple of weeks, but being involved with the management side in sort of 2-3 months now, really. And does that kind of feel like sort of the worst performance under your tenure so far, would you say?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, massively in all aspects, like I've just said. But what I will say is we've come up against what I feel in our tenure is the best team we've played against. Very experienced, very well drilled, and very clinical, especially on the day. And you can see why they are where they are in the league, and why they're so consistent in previous seasons as well, in terms of playoff pushes like that. So yeah, I'll have a look at it again. The goals are all disappointing. I can probably look back on quite a few of those goals and say how disappointing they are. And we'll dust ourselves down. We've obviously got a massive game now next weekend. It's still very tight in there, and still find ourselves lodged in mid-table. But like I said, it's very tight at the moment, and next weekend becomes all the more big game.
Yeah, and just looking at today's match and how it panned out, is actually Whitby that arguably started the bet with the two sides. Stephen Walker had a couple of chances, one in particular where the keeper stayed with his feet, and you may have still lost heavily. You don't know how the match panned out, but that thing of goals changing games, and if that goes in from Steve early on, perhaps we could be talking about something different here.
Yeah, it could have, and he was disappointed with that, Steve. But yeah, you never know, do you? It could have been different, but on the evidence of the rest of the game, we very likely would have lost, and that's just going off today's performance. So a lot to look back on, a lot to work on. That's for sure. And like I said, I don't want to use today and take that away from the progress we've made as a group. The lads have grafted for me in there, and like I said, they are disappointed. It's hard to go in and rant and rave and after a 5-0 defeat like that, and everyone knows as an individual and as a team they haven't performed today, and we'll look ourselves in the mirror and right those wrongs hopefully next weekend.
Yeah, and to start the match as well, you adopted the system that worked so well at Bamber Ridge just 2 weeks ago, and then we saw in the first half how you sort of changed from the back four to the back three, the wing backs, but again it felt like one of those matches or whatever you did try defensively just wasn't going to really make the desired difference, I don't think.
No, we swapped and changed a few times, and I think it was 2-0 down when we swapped it around a little bit, just try and get a foothold in the game again. The gaps in between, from the back to front was far too big, and they just seemed to be landing on a lot of those second balls. So we changed a few things, and I think it wasn't until the last 10 minutes of that second half when we started to go a little bit more direct. I think quite a few of the goals today were from us playing out and on a difficult surface, which was bobbly, and we sort of played right into their hands, and we second half we went a bit more direct with it, and Ty came on and got hold of it a few times for us. But no, it's probably something we might have to look at, and you know, whatever way suits us best, you know, that's the way we'll look to go.
Yeah, in terms of trying to be consistent with things as well, your team selection, it's sort of, you know, the players that have done well in recent matches, they were available today. But in midfield in particular, it's sort of an area at the moment that obviously you've got the suspensions, and that's meaning players are in and out of the side, and then Aaron has one missing today for Wilderness as well. So do you feel that's perhaps had some there in terms of not being able to get that consistency in the midfield area?
Yeah, huge. Obviously Frankie's predominantly a centre back, and he's had to fill in there again for me today. And no, when in games like that, we just said in the dressing room there, in games like that, as you know, when you're missing your girls and your Haswells, it's you know, they're massive players for us in that area of the football pitch, and especially in games like this where you're having to jump on second balls, and you're having to tackle and hook things on and stuff like that. When you haven't got those in the team, it certainly tells.
Yeah, someone who probably can go off the pitch with his head held high after there will be Henry Popple, the goalkeeper, who, as much as he's let 5 goals in, not really his fault. I felt like he had a really promising debut out there.
Yeah, he's obviously a bit disappointed with the lads in front of him more than anything. He's come in and you know, at short notice really, and helped us out in Shane's absence. So no, he's with us for the next couple of games at least, and like you said, he's made a good couple of saves today, and probably kept the scoreline down for us in some respects. So no, he's one who's done okay today.
Yeah, and then just looking at that game next week, it's not just a big game in terms of trying to get a result for Whitby's point of view, but looking at the 2 league positions of the clubs as well, it kind of feels like it's got a bit extra riding on it, you know, given Workington just below us in the table. Yeah,
it's a tight league. Just been looking at it, you know, I think we're obviously mid-table at the moment, but only a couple of points off you know, 7th or 8th, but we also find ourselves a couple of points off those bottom clubs as well. So no, it's a tight league, and it always is, you know, other than the top 5 or 6, it's you know, it's all to play for this season, and it's certainly a huge second half of the season we've got in store. Yeah.
Cheers.